Back in early February, I went to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for the Great American Outdoor Show. I went there with the intent to snag up a couple cellular trail cameras. And my intent was to go look at Exodus Outdoors and to look at Tacticam, see what they were offering, because I really like both cameras. I like what they offer. So I thought I had narrowed down exactly what I wanted. Exodus Outdoors had just released kind of a lower tier cell camera from what they had before. They had the Render, which was a $335 camera, which I really did not want to spend that kind of money on. But they released the Rival, and at the show they had a show price that was about $149 or something like that. And so I said, I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to buy two of these cameras. So fast forward to now. I've been running those cameras since February. The week after the show, I went to my locations, to my scouting locations. I hung, one camera in one location, hung another camera in another location. I put in Energizer lithium batteries in there. It takes 8 lithium batteries. And the camera operates on the AT&T network, which is kind of strong in the area where I was hanging the camera. So anyway, with that in mind, I let the cameras they've been soaking, sitting in those spots since basically the second week of February, and they have done outstanding. I've been through all kinds of different weather, snow, freezing rain, of course thunderstorms, wind, all kinds of stuff, and they've been operating without a beat. In fact, the one spot is kind of a 2-bar, really, really weak coverage spot, and it's still been working. They use the Scoutek app, and I'm constantly on that app, constantly checking my pictures, seeing new pictures coming every day. And it's like crack. You just can't stop looking at it. But anyway, aside from that, the cameras have worked great. So when fast forward to now, Exodus was having a sale again, their 8-year sale. So once again, I went out and I bought another Rival camera. Now, there's a few reasons why I stick with the Rival being a no-glow and not with the Render or even a Tacticam, which is actually cheaper, a lot cheaper. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the lessons I learned with these cameras and why I am recommending the Exodus Rival camera over other cameras, even those that are no glow in the cell family. And we're going to dig down into it. So let's go. Once again, my name's Mike. I am the owner of the Everyday Bow Hunter and archeryhunting.com. And today I'm going to talk about the Exodus Rival camera, why I recommend it, and why I just bought another one, and why I'm probably going to continue to buy additional Rivals. So first things first, we're going to talk a little bit about the comparison between Exodus's Render camera, which was their big and only cell camera for the longest time, and then the Rival. And I'm going to talk about why I think even at lower price tiers with cameras that might have more features, why you should still buy this camera. And there's a very significant reason for it. So just stand by for that. We'll get to it. So first off, if we compare these cameras, the Render, it operates on 4G Verizon network, and the Rival operates for whatever reason on a 4G AT&T network. So 2 different networks with that. You get the SIM card as part of the camera. I'll open the camera up here shortly as well. And they both have a 0.3 second trigger transmission times on them, a 25-second transmission time on the Render, and a 30 on the Rival. So 5-second difference, not that big of a deal. 70-foot detection range on both cameras. The detection of the flash range, because it's a low glow camera compared to a black IR camera, is farther on the Rival. It's 90 feet versus 65. I keep looking at my board to make sure I'm getting it right. The Render has the capability to do pictures, video, a combination of pictures and video, and then time lapse. And then the Rival can do pictures, video, and time lapse. And then comparison as far as the image quality that you can download from either camera, you're actually able to download bigger pictures from the Rival than you are from the Render. The Render can do from 3 to 12 megapixels downloads. The Rival can actually do 3 to When you look at it, 32 megapixel downloads. So that's a significant difference, you know, in your pictures, especially if you're getting daylight pictures. So that's really, really good. The video size is the same for both cameras. You have 640 by 320 video, has a 3.1 megapixel CMOS sensor, color sensor. It's the same on both cameras. You can do geotaggable pics, basically GPS tagged pictures on the render. You cannot do that on the rival. They both use the Scoutek app, which, you know, of course, you can have as many of these cameras on that one app for you. And that's really nice instead of having multiple cellular cameras on different networks. Who wants to do that? I definitely do not. But like I said, the big difference between the two cameras is the no glow black IR, which is a big deal. It's a big deal. And the no glow. Now, how I personally compensate with the no glow is you can actually, in this camera, you can turn it down. There's like a high and low setting for that glow, so you can cut down on your range of the flash. But I do that to minimize that deer looking eye. So the other thing is I hang the cameras high. All my cameras are about anywhere from, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet high, maybe even a little higher, and they're canted down so that camera is up out of the eye, the sight line of the deer. So if you're looking at it, you know, saying, I really don't want that low glow, I don't want to spook deer, try to use these techniques to help you out, and it's been very successful for me. The other big thing is that both cameras have that IP66 waterproofing, so they're very, very waterproof, and the cameras, you know, are pretty similar in that way as well. The only other difference I can really think of is that the render actually has a screen on the inside of it. When you open the camera up, you have a screen there. The rival is completely, you know, there's no buttons in there except to turn it on and off. So you can actually turn the camera on to work for the cell networks, and then you can turn it off to work just as a regular trail camera. You know, no need of any towers. It's not going to be burning batteries or anything. But on the two cameras that I have hanging, and I put those lithium batteries in, my battery level is 100%. Based on what I'm seeing and the constant pictures and everything I'm getting, it's doing very well. Now, the Scoutek app itself, as far as what you're going to pay, I got the 50 megabyte plan, $5 per camera. I've had 2 months where it definitely was not enough. I had overage on there, but I think if you start at that level, you know, and then you kind of see how it works, if you want to beef up what you're paying per month. But I said, you know, $10 plus the additional fees they put on there. I think I'm paying like $17 a month for that. And then if I have overage, I think the highest bill I've paid is like $20 in a month for that. So just be cognizant of that. The more cameras you hang, the more you're going to pay. So, and I'm getting ready to hang this one. But before I pull this out once again, the one thing that when it comes to buying these cameras that sets them apart from these other cameras, like I talked about the Tacticam. The reason I looked at the Tacticam is because it was dual network capable, sub 1 second trigger times, you know, had no glow technology, and of course the IP66 weatherproofing, and it only cost $149. Now, $149, and that's for the Pro, the Reveal X-Gen Pro, or whatever, however it's called, for Tacticam, $149. And I said, that has better capabilities than that $335 render that Exodus sells. So it didn't make any sense because I could buy 2 of those cameras for one of the render. And the reason why I still chose the rival in a no glow over the Tacticam was for a huge reason. And that reason is Exodus Outdoors has one of the most incredible warranties of any trail camera maker there is. They have a 5-year warranty. That means if you hang that camera out there, I'm not saying you drop it and break it, they're going to replace it. If that camera's hanging out there on that tree and it stops working, which I have yet to ever have a camera last me 5 years. I've had a camera, I think the longest I've had is like maybe, if I had one last 4 years, I'd be surprised. I think the longest I've had a camera last is maybe 3 years. So if you take that into account and say, if that camera dies on me at any time, hanging out in that weather year-round, I can keep that camera out there year-round. They'll replace it. That 5-year no BS, it's called a 5-year no BS warranty. So that is huge. Tacticam, on the other hand, will allow you to send the camera back within 30 days, and you're probably going to have to pay a fee to have it fixed. That there, to me, gents, that's a no-brainer. So the value you get for paying that little bit extra for this camera is going to keep you from buying another camera. And the only thing you have to do to solidify that when you buy this is register the warranty. Register the camera for the warranty, and that's it. And they have a theft policy. So if somebody comes up, you see the camera, boom, they take your camera and steal it, Exodus will give you your next camera at 50% off. That's huge too. I've had tons of cameras either stolen or just stop working, get beat up by elements. I don't know if they have a bear policy. I'm gonna have to check in to see if they have a bear policy, because I'm definitely in danger of having bears tear my stuff up. But anyway, let's take a look at the camera and then see what you got, and you'll see why I love this camera. So open it up, very nice layout. See, Exodus has your camera in there, very nice. Boom, and the first thing you have on the top here, before you can even do anything, it has a QR code for you to scan to activate your camera. And then on the inside as well, when you open it up, they have another QR code inside here that's going to help you get your camera registered in the Scoutek app as well. If you haven't had the Scoutek app already, you'll be able to download that onto your phone, get your camera registered in there, and have it start communicating. Throw some batteries in there, have it communicate with the app, take some pictures in your house or whatever. It's what I did. And you can see here, it takes 8 batteries. You need to use lithium AA batteries. If you want this camera to excel, you need to use lithium AA batteries, and it will do great for you. But you can notice here, then there's nothing else, right? On the inside here is what you have: online, off, and online. And that's it. That's it. So you turn the camera on, and it's got the SIM card for the AT&T network already. It takes a full-size SD card. So it's not a micro SD card. So that's something to consider too. If you're buying memory cards for it, it's a full-size SD card. And here's another thing. Only use like a 32 gigabyte card in this. Do not go, oh, I need to put a 128 or a 256 or something crazy. The reason is, all this stuff is going to go through the app. You're going to see the pictures, and you can download them, the ones you want. While you're using it, you can request an HD photo, right? So, and it'll just keep reusing that memory card while it's out there soaking up, you know, and taking pictures. So you never need to go out and replace the memory card or anything. That's a huge deal. So that's an important thing to note with the camera as well. Now the other thing, of course, that comes with it is the antenna, and you need to put the antenna on. And one of the key things that I got from watching one of their videos is a very significant thing that can help you out, because these antennas sticking up, you have the camera against the tree. You know, when you have squirrels and stuff run down the tree, and if they hit your antenna, if your antenna is facing away from the tree and it's not bendable there, they're going to break your antenna. So you could have that problem. But if you have this twisted around, you have the ability that animal runs down the tree and they just push your antenna down, so it doesn't break it. But that's really all there is. Of course, it comes with a strap for the tree as well. And you can buy solar panels for these cameras. If you want to really let them sit out there and soak for a long time, you can buy solar panels. They have the port down here for plugging in your solar panel or any external power source. Once you register the camera, you get it in the app, etc. Once you do put your batteries in and all that, and you turn it on to online, you're going to see in here, just like you do on a cell phone, you're going to see the connection. It's going to show you if it comes up green, it means it's connected. If it's yellow, it means that it's connected, but it's got a fairly weak signal. And of course, red means it's not connected to the network. As you're standing there at your tree, before you walk away from that tree, make sure it's connected. And you have the ability on the Scoutek app to do a real-time connection with the camera and take a picture, stand in front of the camera, walk in front of it, or a video, whatever you want to do, and then wait for it there to get into the Scoutek app, give you a notification, and check out the picture on your phone to make sure it's working before you ever walk away from that tree. Like I said, the #1 reason for me is, one, the cameras work great. They're out in the elements. I'm having no problems. I've already had them out there since February through some pretty rough weather. And now, especially some winds where it took trees down and everything else, still running strong, made it through a bear attack. And so I'm convinced, normally $179 on their website. I recommend waiting for a sale to get more than one. But if not, if you're willing to pay that $179, it's still probably worth it, because think about, if you have this camera for 5 years, or even if you don't, if it stops working, you're going to get another camera for free, and that camera is probably going to last a while too. So that's it, guys. That's the full review, but I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth the money, and it's worth buying over some of these other cameras that don't have a warranty and aren't making any claims to how the quality of their camera is. Exodus has a strong commitment to quality. The only negative that I've experienced so far with these isn't with these cameras. It's with Exodus Outdoors themselves. I've had hit or miss on customer service. I've had where I sent an email and I got an email back in 2 hours. And I've had where I sent an email request asking some questions and I didn't get answered for 3 weeks. So if I say anything, they say they have world-class customer service. You could do better, guys. Other than that, cameras are awesome. So that's all I got. Please, if you like the review, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time.